Tonight from the I-Team, we're breaking down how your tax dollars are being spent in Arizona's billion-dollar education experiment. The I-Team is now finding that families can ramp up their kitchens even though public schools can't get the same supplies.
Our I-Team's Craig Harris went to Globe, where a public school teacher is raising private funds to get similar equipment that her district cannot afford.
Welcome to Globe High School, a place with a very deep, rich history. In fact, the first graduating class, 1910. It's also the home of former Governor Rose Mofford. And if you walk down these halls, you're going to go to the home economics class of Mrs. Wagner, but you're still going to take a step back in time. When school starts here in late July, Londa Wagner will have about 100 kids a day. It's in a classroom with kitchen sinks that don't work. The cabinets, possibly 60 years old, were built by a former shop teacher. The measuring cups, hand-me-downs the past 4 decades.
It was a time capsule.
Believe it or not, it was even worse when Wagner started here in 2018.
We found things from the 90s, and the stoves were from the 60s, and only one burner worked. And we have slowly improved.
Wagner has a deep connection to the school. Her grandmother attended classes here. Her mom graduated in 1959. She graduated in 1994, and all 4 of her kids went to school here. Today, the stoves work. There's a new ventilation system and 8 new KitchenAid mixers, but none were paid for with tax dollars. Okay, how much money did you have to raise for the KitchenAids?
Couple $1,000s.
Okay. It's a stark contrast to the tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars that bought more than 200 KitchenAid products for private homes.
I'll admit we bought a KitchenAid stand mixer and attachments, which some people would consider a luxury item, but I'm a chef by trade. I believe in the tools you use is that what you get.
Simone Bell is a parent with a disabled child who gets money from the Empowerment Scholarship Account, or ESAs. It's taxpayer money that goes to parents who homeschool or send their kids to private schools. And the I-Team found that since the Arizona legislature expanded the program to everyone, regardless of income or ability, parents spent more than $38,000 on just over 200 KitchenAid products. That includes 66 mixers that cost $300 to $800 each.
So if you buy a cheap tool, you're going to get a terrible outcome.
12 News found that ESA parents collaborate online on how to get those purchases approved by the Department of Education. That agency and the Treasurer's Office have dual oversight of an ESA program that has skyrocketed to cost $1 billion a year for over 85,000 kids. But in the public school system in Globe, there's no taxpayer funding for the same supplies. I showed Londa Wagner the public records of ESA spending. These are all just KitchenAid products that were bought.
Wow. And knowing how hard we worked to raise the money for these ProLine, this stays with individual families, and these are used by hundreds of students.
How does that make you feel?
It's very upsetting, and that's why I was motivated to speak. We should have had funding for our rural schools.
In June, she drove from Globe to the Capitol for a State Board of Education meeting.
We didn't have the luxury of funding.
But Wagner was outnumbered. ESA parents and conservative Republican lawmakers urged the state board to have no ESA spending restrictions, and the board approved a new handbook that has no hard spending caps. It's unclear what the limit is for high-end KitchenAid mixers. Wagner said her kids will have to keep fundraising to keep her cooks in the kitchen. So how much money do you think you've raised since you've taken this job?
Probably close to $20,000.
Really?
Our children need basic equipment, basic items for their classrooms.
Reporting from Globe High School, I'm Craig Harris, 12 News.
Greg, thanks. Still